Welcome back, gamers. I never left this seat. Well, no, I did. I went on a walk. But I was playing, I made the classic mistake of drinking a soda after 5 p.m. and didn't go to sleep. And so I just played, I got a game called Berry Berry Berry, which is famous for being, a video game about berries that you bury in a hole. And that's why it's called Berry Berry Berry, with alternating berries as in burying things and berries as in the fruit. But I played that for about 7 hours straight instead of going to sleep. I'm thinking now, I probably could have just gone to sleep in that time. I probably didn't need to start a video game at 3 in the morning and then play it until 9 in the morning. But oh well, it was already 3 in the morning, so my sleep was kind of fucked, because I wasn't tired, really. Actually, it was closer to 4, because, yeah. My brother pulled me away at, like, 8:55, or 8:45 or something, and then I checked and I had 5 hours on the game. So it was like 3:30 or 3:45, but okay. That's enough explaining the logistics of the concept of sleep. What we need to do now is figure out what I can actually do today in my compromised state without giving myself an actual heart attack. Ooh. But okay, I did that. Oh yeah, these are the things here. No flash photography in construction zone, that's done. Have terrain cast shadows from both sides, I did that. Replace scrolling with right stick with D-pad to hover an object. Nah, I don't care. Each page of status menu, I don't care. I'm just going to go through these playtest things as well. Disable photo prompt when there are no available photos. Correct, I did that. Keep playing button doesn't keep playing. Oh, that's in the, that's not needed for the demo, but that will be needed in the actual game. Gamer Apollo should count as pride. I think I have that, maybe? Dryman moisturized. Kerning for hashtag or pound sign is too far. Ooh, I don't know how to... as I said before, I used FontForge to make the font, and now I don't remember how to do anything in FontForge, because it's so hard to use. It's like one of the hardest programs to use that I've ever seen in my life. Like, you would think there'd be, like, a kerning window, and you just click it, and then you bring up the window for kerning. But no, you bring up a window that has text that you can type, and then there's some magical incantation to get to the actual window where you can set the kerning, and I don't know how to get to it. Like, it's so complicated that I think I would have to reread the entirety of the documentation from beginning to end to figure out where it even explains to do kerning, because there's no, like, here is how to do kerning section of FontForge. But okay, we don't need that. Pack submission, we got new intro. Yeah, okay, so I have some duplicate stuff, so I'm going to do something here. We got the dirty clothes, we do need the toys, we do have the dishes, we got the shower, we got the curtains. Closet, vacuum, boxes, clothes, good enough. Theming, oh wait, no. Do need those. Okay. Intro music is something good. Okay, what do I even need? Do I need anything in the living room? I guess the portraits are what I actually need. I'm gonna put in here, though, better couch texture. And this is gonna be a could ship, though. Because if we go to Weston House, we have our big awful fish. I love this big awful fish. He's now a character in the video game. He's canon. And then we also have this place. This is the living room, the titular living room in the to-do list. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a bunch of portraits. And those might be... Actually, this would be a great wall to have portraits on. You know what I mean? Does your family have portraits just lining the walls everywhere? Let's do those. How big should these images be? I guess I'll do 128 by 64. I'm trying to think, like, what... Because they're going to be portrait mode. How do I want to do that without, like, wasting a bunch of space, though? Also, I was still thinking about the line, with this text, where it's like, Theo is now blind forever. It's really funny. But okay, 128. I might just do 128 by 128 and crop it. Let's put the portraits in first, so that I can see where things will be. Also, classic thing, my headphones are super uncomfortable because I took a shower like an hour ago. And there's still like microscopic amounts of moisture on my skin. But okay. We need decor, actually photos. Framed medium. No, that's too big. I mean, technically we can have other ones, but yeah, let's do framed medium. Photos. Is that correct? Okay. And these can be scaled uniformly, actually. So I don't know why I was, complaining about them being too big. And also, this isn't even the right wall. I want these over here. Yeah, so I think we have the 3 kids, and then a marriage photo, and then a big family portrait. Where the heck would you put portraits? I think you would do this, so they don't feel below the other 2. And I'm thinking Apollo, May, Hercules, or something like that. Have May on the outside. And actually, what I think would be good for feng shui here, we have basically a slightly low... I know. What if I literally just get this? This is just like the wedding photo for Mrs. Weston and Mr. Weston. So that's the portrait that they have there. Lovely. Or the little portraits that they'll have. Yeah. I have those there. Oh, wait, no. And then we also need nice family photo. And that'll be right, I think. Maybe that one will be here? No, I think what you would do is you wouldn't have the photos there, because that's, like, nowhere. You'd have them over here. And then Let's link a photo large square. Hopefully it was called framed large square. It was. I'm very smart. Okay. So yeah, wedding photo, kids, big family portrait. Isn't that lovely? Let's figure out our geometries here. So I like having these at the midpoint here. And then I'm thinking, what would this align to? Maybe it aligns to this midpoint, since I just have that line visible. And then what if we scaled this? So that it was like that. There we go. So now the midpoint of this aligns with this midpoint. The bottom of it aligns with that midpoint. Let's see if it looks good. Actually, first things first. Why is this one looking so shit? Framed large square. Photos. Oh, photo. Okay. This doesn't feel particularly good. I think we have this aligned with the midpoint there. That makes the most sense to me. What else would we even have on a wall here? Yeah, that seems perfectly good. Okay, so how does this work then? Where do the photos go here? Oh wait, P for photos. Okay, just wanted to make sure that the portrait is lined up correctly. Because I need to make sure that for each of these, this is in the correct spot. It's not even in... Okay. Just reset it. Okay, let's make sure that this works. So this was on the top here, so that means -90, because basically that means that this... Okay, top, bottom, left, right. Perfect. Now I need to double check the other ones, though. Oh, I'm stupid. This is literally the... Wait, what? Am I stupid? I think I am stupid. I did not know that I thought I opened a different photo, man. I thought I opened something called framed portrait, not framed large portrait. Okay. I keep forgetting. This is what I need. There we go. Wait. Oh, I see. This one also doesn't have that. Do any of them have images? And also, why are these so pushed inward? They should not have, basically, cardinal sin. They should not be behind the origin, because the origin is how I'm going to put them to the wall. In like 99% of cases. Okay, this one is correct. Yeah, because I had to do that one at some point. Oh, and so the main thing is going to be figuring out the aspect ratio of these images. What am I even using? Am I using a medium photo? Yeah, framed medium. Let's see. Frame small. Let's just double check. Oh, no, frame small is definitely going to be working because that's one that I made. Okay, so our main thing is going to be framed medium because everything else, this one's just a square. That'll be easy. And I'll do like a 256 by 256 image there. But okay, 1.7 or 0.17, 0.12. So it's basically 13. Let's do 12.8. No, 12.9 divided by 17.5. Uh, 737. Whoops. Go back a step. Hang on. How do I go back a step? Because what I wanted was 128, not 238. Okay, so it's a 128 by 69 pixel image. So we could just make it a 2 by 1, I think. We literally just make it so that, like... In fact, what if we just scale this to 0.18? And then this is just 0.09. Actually, I think 0.1... No, okay. 0.12 feels better. Okay, so 18 divided by 12 is 2 to 3? Is that right? No, that doesn't feel right. No, that is right. Okay, so this is a 2 to 3 aspect ratio. What if we did 64 by 96 then? That feels fair. Okay, let's double check these here. Okay. Not a huge difference. I think those will be perfectly fine for portraits. And that means we'll do... No, I think... Hang on, how big is 128 pixels? Is this big enough for our pixel art? Okay, I think 128 will be golden there. So we just need 64 times 3. Okay. And one of these will actually be rotated, but then I have to unrotate it. So I guess I'll just do it this way. Let's just call this, like, portraits. Medium portraits dot craw. Photos, I think. Wrong one. We don't need that. I kind of like the idea of the edges being a little bit dark. Also, if I pause for a long period of time, that's because I'm fucking dying. But the show's gotta go on, allegedly. Because I said so. Okay, so this is gonna be shading, and I'm gonna just do a multiply layer here. Okay, Weston, let's say Weston 1, Apollo. Because he's first alphabetically. How do they do school portraits? They do like a blue or something, and then you'd have like a noise pattern, which we already have here, but we could add an extra one. And then what you would do is you'd have like a extra darkening. Something like this. And let's actually make it a deeper blue. Ooh. How romantic. Okay, so then we need our shitty little boy here. Where is Apollo? Do I want him to have his propeller hat? Should he have his striped shirt? It would be funny if he has like really beautiful, luscious hair in his school photo. Okay, I'm gonna do that. And yeah, we're just gonna have basically exactly. This is actually higher res than his actual sprite. How big is this sprite? It's like some weird number. I think it's like 115 or something random. 127 by 356. Why? Why is it 127? This image is 1 pixel wider. He's like the Mona Lisa. Inscrutable. Incomprehensible. Why doesn't he have a mouth? Alright, so he needs a nice button-up shirt. So I'm thinking also, it should have like a plaid. What if I just take a plaid material? Hang on. Let's go to Firefox, which is somewhere in here. Wait, did Firefox? No, okay, Firefox didn't crash. It just looks the same as my OBS. Plaid. What if I just steal a plaid shirt? Nobody would know. How big is this? You fools. That's the perfect material for me. And this is probably fair use. Maybe. I don't know. See, this is how t-shirts work. Okay. Actually, I just had a brilliant idea. What if I get this? Oh wait, wrong button. There we are. Well, that got us 90% of the way there. Oh wait. Okay, so we need the, like, suavest, sickest hairstyle ever. I'm gonna say... Pompadour. We need to... Let's look up a good pompadour. Is that how you spell it? Seems basically close. Okay, so the general things that I'm seeing are basically comb the hair up and then comb the hair back on the sides. Oh wait, hang on. My funny idea did not work out so well. There we go. Okay. Basically, now we have no plaid elsewhere. I should have aligned the button with the buttons of the shirt, but I think it's kind of funnier if they aren't aligned. Well, yeah. Yeah, I think having just, like, little weird details in all of these will be funny. Especially because I have the technology to make each photo something that you can also talk about. And I do think I should do that with the photos that you can frame at Bill's house, because there's a very specific thing that I want, which is taking a photo of Linda's grave and then having Bill frame it, and then you can use that as longing of him looking at the photo of her grave. But okay, let's have this be, I'm going to say a cool, very dark blue. What if Apollo just went bald? No, I have a good idea. It's just gonna be Mom made me take off my hat. That's all he has to say about the photo. This is just his normal hair. He just doesn't like having it on. Or he just doesn't like it. So he always wears a hat. Okay, where's Apollo? We need the small child. Also, I thought it was my headphones that made, like, my ears really loud. No, my ears are just really loud. It's weird. Like, anytime I move my jaw slightly. I think my body's messed up. Okay. So I think we need to make this one much subtler. Oh, I think I know what I need. I forgot. This double grunge. Okay, there we go. That's what I want. Basically, this grunge is for the photo. The extra grunge is for the actual backdrop. And that one can be even... if we filter it... wait, that's not what I want. Hue saturation value. I mean, actually, I do kinda... it did kinda look good. But okay. There we go. So that's that. And then we're gonna make this ever so slightly... Actually, let's do probably regular noise instead of the grunge. Delete that. So now it's like, okay, there's some grain on the photograph. I like that. Oh, wait, no. I don't like that because it's mirrored. Wait, I have a good idea. There we go. Yeah, because I like this look. Okay. So that's going to be medium portraits. So let's say medium... I think here we actually do put these in Weston House. And we're going to put this in just photos, I guess. And I'll call it portrait. Medium, school, Apollo. Okay, what shirt would Hercules wear to school? I think he would, first of all, he would have a red background, obviously. Probably more of this color. And then we can just copy the grunge and this. What is this, actually? This is like the lighting or something? No, this is the... Okay. Oh, I didn't put it as a multiply layer. Well... easy enough to fix. Ooh, okay, I can feel myself, like, regaining energy as I work. But okay, we need, let's do mostly gray, maybe a smidge of purple here. So this is our actual, like, backdrop or whatever. And I kind of want the middle here to be white. Wait, no, this should be... okay, that is multiply. Here we just have it be a little bit... actually, let's do a very light yellow. You know, as the lighting. That feels kind of... that feels authentic. Like, that feels like a school photo backdrop, you know? So now we need Herc, who I'm assuming is also, like, at a dog shit resolution. Well, he's a bit bigger. He's 506 by 350. Man, I have no consistency. He's like 4 times the resolution of Apollo. You could fit... actually, let's see the comparison here of the actual bit height. Oh, no, that's not bad, actually. That feels completely reasonable. But they also don't feel like they're related, or they don't feel like they're from the same game, because Apollo was literally one of the first characters I drew, and the whole gimmick of him was how shit he looks. He's like Boy, the character. But okay. How would Herc stand? He needs construction. He is a character who demands constructing. Which is unfortunate, because I'm bad at it. Oh yeah, we should also have all of this as the backdrop. Backdrop grunge, backdrop lighting. Oh wait, no. This is also drop lighting 2. And obviously that's the backdrop. But then we have her. So yeah, let's just sketch out some ideas first. Would he do a peace sign? Maybe he would. That feels kind of corny, but he is kind of corny. No, actually, I think he's too cool to do a pose. It's a weird thing where neither of the boys will smile for photos, but that's because Apollo doesn't have a mouth. Like, Herc is deliberately doing it. He deliberately doesn't smile for his photos. So what if he's like, you know, he might have a very faint smirk, because I'm remembering now, when I was in high school or junior high or something, I tried to not smile for a photograph, for a school photo. But then the photographer basically tried to make me laugh and take a photo while I was laughing, or while I was smiling. And I had just the faintest, I tried my best to do a poker face, but he got me with just the faintest smile. So I think that's what happened with Apollo, or Hercules, whoever the hell this guy is. He was trying to be cool. Apollo just is cool, though. Because, yeah, nobody tries to make him smile, because they can't tell what the hell he's thinking. Nobody knows him. It's basically like, that, basically. Not as cute, though. More like that. And Herc's face is kind of rounded. Like that. Does that feel right? That feels about right. And then he'd have a black t-shirt, obviously. He's not gonna put on some plaid. Like a dork. Like a dorkest dweebus idiot. Okay. So he has an itty-bitty nose. And then, yeah, he is obviously going to be wearing his sunglasses. They desperately tried to get him to not wear the sunglasses in school. But he's allowed to wear them. He does what he wants. Except for not smiling. Yeah, there we go. And then his enormous head is actually much smaller than this, in actuality. Sorry to disappoint you. And also, I should have been using this from the start, because this is... I'm probably just going to recolor this black anyway. But okay, how the hell does his hair work? He has dumb hair. It's like a deliberately incomprehensible version of the classic, like, broccoli hair. And also, I recently saw a 20-something calling it Gen Alpha hair, where I've always called it, or heard it called Gen Z hair. So it's like, who likes this fucking hairstyle? Is it parents putting it on kids? Is that who likes it? Is that the only similarity of, like, is it just the young people? Is it a matter of age? I guess it could be a matter of age. I remember when I was a kid, my friend's younger brother had a faux hawk. And he was very adamant that it was not a mohawk, it was a faux hawk. And that's kind of basically this. I think kids just get weird hairstyles. So he was trying to be cool, but in a moment of vulnerability, he had this. Okay, so do I want to do crossed arms? No, I'm going to do like this, basically. Well, I could do kind of crossed arms. That feels fine. Yeah, okay, that feels fine. He does look a bit older here than he does in his actual thing, because I made his face... I know what I did. His neck too big. Shoulders too big. He's still pretty scrawny for a 14-year-old. Well, I guess not scrawny for a 14-year-old, but not big for a 14-year-old, I'd say. There we go. And then let's just say this here, he's going to have a cool shirt. Actually, let's just get our colors in here. I keep going to the wrong things. Is that... that feels okay. He does look kind of like he's just blind, though. Hmm. What should his shirt say? Something enigmatic and bizarre. I think I was never here. Yeah, that feels on brand for him. This looks fucking terrible. The actual, like, this... Like, the sunglasses do not look good. And also, I don't like his, dorky-ass smile. That feels a bit closer. What if we did ever so subtle? Hmm. And then here. Hi, welcome back. I'm making school portraits for our cool kids. I think he needs to be a bit taller in here. They'd frame him a bit better. And that means I need to figure out the rest of the human anatomy. Fortunately, I've drawn this before. I've been in the training simulations for this. Looks pretty bad. Well, nah, that looks fine. Let's see, what am I missing? I don't like how his head does that. Okay. That looks a bit closer, except for the back here. Last but not least, change this to, like, something like this. Okay, that looks good. Well, good enough. Now we need to design May. I didn't actually have a plan for that. Okay, I guess duplicate this. One May. Here I'm just gonna do, like... I think she'd have a gray backdrop. Oh, wait. Wrong backdrop. Hmm. Do I want to commit? Who is May? I'm gonna say braided side ponytail. Yeah, I think something like this could look good. It would be really complicated to do, though. I could consider doing something that's just easier. No, I think that's gonna be what you'd have there. So yeah, she'll be by far the most complicated character of the lot. Well, maybe she'll have, like, simpler features, like, let's see. So all the Weston kids have, like, these kind of rounded features, so I might do that for her as well. And I think she should be kind of facing forward, so let's do that a little bit. So I'm thinking kind of somewhere between Apollo and whoever he is, Hercules, in terms of, like, facial anatomy. And let's delete some garbage here. We don't need all this construction. What am I, a fucking Renaissance painter? will she be doing in her thing? I think she's gonna have big ears like Apollo does. And then I just need to figure out women's hairlines, because they're different than men's. They tend to be further up, more rounded. Less of this, and more of this. And then, where do we braid her hair from? Where does it go? I think she'd have a braid here. And then she'd also have hair coming down like this. And she'd probably almost certainly have bangs coming down. Yeah, she'd have bangs coming down like this, maybe. How would she have bangs? Trying to figure out what her bangs would be. Something like that looks okay. Maybe she has a bit of a forehead. And I think she's deliberately raising her shoulders to seem, I don't know, cuter? Then what would she be wearing? What do you wear? What is a nice shirt? What is a nice school-appropriate shirt? I guess one of those kind of tank top kind of t-shirts where like there's sleeves, but there's just like there's the like suggestion of a sleeve, but not really a sleeve. Okay. Yeah, that feels like her. Okay. Now let's get this actually colored so I can like commit to it. Oh yeah, I gotta... I think her face could be rounded a little bit more. A little more Apollo style. Because yeah, I do want her to feel like girl Apollo. Okay, that feels fine. Yeah, main complication here. Actually, the braids turned out okay, actually. Okay, let's figure out where these bangs are going. Yeah, this situation here is indecipherable, incomprehensible to the human mind. Maybe she just embraces it. Maybe she doesn't give a like, she just like embraces having like a 5 head. Because yeah, this kind of feels like a much younger photo, since May's canonically like 18 or 19 because she's in college. She's actually just completed her first semester of college, or first year of college, basically, at the time of the game. And so, yeah, like this definitely seems like, I don't know, early high school. But maybe she just looks like this. Let's have this like that, and this will be kind of like separate piece then. Yeah, that makes sense, basically. Some sort of under material, and then we'd probably have something else underneath here. She seems like kind of a dork. Which I guess that's okay. She can be kind of a dork. Okay. Let's do kind of platinum hair, maybe. Yeah, that feels fine. And then she has tiny arms. She has like little stick arms. No wonder her mom worries about her. She looks like a little tiny skeleton. But okay, I think all the kids have the exact same skin tone, I'm realizing. That's funny. I'm gonna do that. Oh, wait. Herc's portrait. Hang on. Layer. Wait, is this... Okay. And then we should probably have her hair be more yellow to match the sort of stylized pale look, because it is kind of a thing where, like, people different than myself, I tend to stylize less because that's just how I roll. It's some sort of bias, incapable of caricaturizing people. How would I understand who a woman is if I don't draw every detail photorealistically? I've noticed the same thing also with the main comparison I have is a lot of non-white characters I don't stylize as much, they just feel more realistic. And I think it's because there's also just less stylized non-white characters. Or a lot of them were racist caricatures. I'm going to say white undershirt, blue top shirt maybe? How's that going to look? That looks very Alice in Wonderland coded. Let's do purple. Maybe that'll look a little less Alice in Wonderland. She does strike me as very Alice in Wonderland coded. Well, that's good enough. Oh, wait. Except for... Wait, was that... There we go. Okay. So this is portrait, medium, school. May. Oh, wait, I see. We use this photo here. Okay, so I think it's going to be oldest to youngest. That feels fair. Oh, wait, I see. I do need to have the standard UV for all three of these. It is kind of crazy, though, that these portraits are going to be more HD than the characters. Apollo. There we are. I like that. Okay. So do world photos have interactable camera things? They should, if I allow it, if I deign fit. These do, right? By default? No, they don't. Do I have here if ID? Let's do function ready if ID. Ooh, how do we do that? I know, subobject. Like that. And then I should probably have it so that if something isn't photographable, it doesn't, or if something doesn't have an ID, it should not come up in the photographs. Let's double check that. Well, is there any instance where I wouldn't have these photographs? Or basically where I wouldn't have the photograph itself be an object that I can photograph and then talk to people about. Okay. Let's go to the house and just see what these look like and see if see how the camera reacts when they don't have IDs. Because it should say, oh wait, where? Oh yeah, they're here. Interesting. Aha. Invalid on base of type nil. If C is world object or C is sub-object. Huh. Very strange stack trace here. Oh wait, no. I guess it's not really. Okay. So for C in camera.getObject visible, if not C or let's do that. If not C or it's not visible. Actually, let's just do if not is instance valid. See. There are times where it's not valid, but it does still exist. And so that means check cam call. Oh wait, I see. My music or my volume's up higher than normal. That's why the music seems extra loud as well. Okay, so try this again. Oh wait, it's because this does not have that. Okay, so now it should do something that isn't crash and burn. And yeah, I'm wondering, if I were to do this from a clean slate, how would I make it more composable? Like, because now there's a sort of hokey inheritance tree. Okay, so we can see here, when they don't have an ID, they should just not be here. Let's do if not... Yeah, let's do if not instance valid, or not visible in tree, or not c.id. Oh, wait, let's see. If C is world object and not C.id. Continue. There we go. That almost worked. Except for the fact... I know what it is. Check cam should just do this. Check cam. Okay. So, if not source, if in frustum, this stuff here... Do we not do anything with the ID, then? Huh. Because, yeah, I think it'd be a very simple solution to just have it so that, like, when a thing doesn't have an ID, I don't do anything to it. For C2 in points... What am I even looking for? Sub-object. Okay. Cam add. If C is subject and camera source not in array, array append C.camera source. Okay, so it's when we do cam add. Which should first of all have node 3D. At the very least, it can have these. Okay, not an array, and is instance valid. C.camera source. Actually, let's just say good cam, or like a function can add node n. Or like cam good or valid. Basically, let's say world object. Return is instance valid node and node ID. Cam valid c.camera source elif cam valid c.camera source. And actually, this should just be a node. ID in node and I think this is correct. I don't think there's any instance where we actually, let's just check if this is a world object here. Let's check if this causes any runtime issues, because I don't think there's any time when I take a photo of something that isn't a world object. Unless it's a sub-object. Ah. Character type, character body 3D. Okay, so this does need to be node. Oh wait, objects equals cam add. Oh, okay, I see. We just append the array there. But this still doesn't work. Invalid access to property camera source and base object. Oh, because this needs to be that. Okay. I'm like losing my mind. I didn't sleep. Which admittedly means I've only been up for like 24 hours at this point, because I crawled out of bed at like 1 p.m. yesterday. Character body 3D, player standard body. Let's just say, and node is not world object or node.id. Let's just say that. So basically, if it's not a world object, then clearly I intended for it to be photographed in some way. But if it is a world object, then it needs an ID in order to be photographed, because otherwise it's not going to work. Okay, and we'll just have to constantly zoom in and out, or like take photos of stuff. And so I'll have to take photos of like everything to make sure the game doesn't crash, because that would be very unfortunate if it did. But there's now there's basically no way for this to crash, because all world objects have IDs. The only thing that could happen is things that I wanted to take photos of do not have photos anymore. Okay, those look pretty good. I like those. So now we can actually have, like, school photos for those, eventually, maybe. But what we need now is much more important. I think what I'm going to do is just, if we rotate this way, this will be our wedding photo. So I think we're going to have the most beautiful wedding the world has ever seen. It's going to be Mrs. Weston standing. Actually, let's see. Is there a specific side? I believe there is for, like, bride and groom. So let's see a wedding. I believe, like, when you're looking at down the aisle. Yeah, it looks like the bride is always on the left side. When you are, well, yeah, during the wedding vows, at least. So yeah, let's go to NPC Mr. Weston. What chair is he going to sit in? Oh, wait, hang on. I need to get his proper thing. This makes it much easier for me to figure out stuff. Yeah. Ooh, actually, let's get this to a 256 by what is 128 times 3? 384. I should have known that. I remembered that. This one. So he's gonna need to be in his suit. I'm gonna have the ring in his hand. Where's the beer? There it is, beer. Okay, so who is this? Nothing? I guess it's nothing now. Okay, so hide this for now, because we're gonna need... some real stuff here. Let's just compress all this down. We don't need, like, 15 layers. It's pixel art. I like how... yeah, Mr. Weston... I got progressively better at drawing characters, which admittedly kind of makes... you know, you lose some of the charm. But okay. Let's see. So yeah, I'm thinking a white tuxedo. Actually, no. It looks like husbands always have a black tuxedo. So I'll do that instead. But I'll figure that out once we figure this out. There we are. Okay, so I think a gigantic, like, Sonic the Hedgehog gold ring. I don't think the husband's even, like, the groom doesn't even, like, get the ring. The ring bearer brings it to both of them, right? Or do they put the ring on... Have I ever even, like, paid attention at a wedding? I think the last time I was at a wedding, I was, like, 8. And I fell into a rose bush. That's what I remember. From the wedding rehearsal or something. I was, like, leaning back in my chair. Well, he has the ring. Whether or not that's correct, that's up for the wedding experts to decide. So yeah, let's make it a dark blue, very dark blue. What am I missing from a proper suit? Ah, white collar. Also, I'm seeing this is like 0 difference. Is there any difference? What if I did that? Okay, so there is some difference. Let's do slightly lighter for now. What kind of tie would he wear? Probably just a black tie, but he would have a nice lapel flower. Let's say some sort of, I guess it'd be white. And then have a bit of green. That's how flowers work typically. There we are. I should have drawn the rest of the scene, but oh well. Okay. And then he has that. Okay. And then let's make his beautiful white rose something like this, maybe. See, that's what flowers look like. See, you can tell what's happening now. Everyone knows that this is going to be Weston to marriage. What is Mrs. Weston going to be wearing? Well, I should actually figure out what is a wedding. I'm going to look up just wedding chair. Maybe church pews? Maybe white church pews. No, because like these, too fancy. What if he brought like the nicest like white leather recliner? These look like hospital beds. These are not. Oh well, I do kind of like this one. Let's see. Could I fit Mr. Weston on this? It would be a challenge, to be sure. But I think I can. I think I can do this. With enough courage and dedication. He's supposed to be up on the stand. Like this is supposed to be like his this is supposed to be eye level here. There's just no chance at all that this is going to work. This is going to look like garbage. This is going to be so stupid. But then again, Mr. Weston is in the running for like stupidest looking character a lot of the times just because he has like stock footage or stock photos of chairs are his like main gimmick. I mean, he's a guy who like the only way he emotes is by changing the chair that he's sitting on. And that's canon. Like his wife isn't just crazy. when she starts talking about his scare chair, he actually does switch chairs when she's replaced by a bear because he is scared, and he does express his emotions through whatever chair he's sitting on. Okay, so how do I make this look less shitty? What if we reduce this to like 1? That isn't useful. Ooh, interesting. Thank you, Krita. Okay, I think 3 is the answer here. We just need to make sure that it doesn't delete it from places where we care. What if I just add an outline to the chair? I can do that. I have the technology to do that. Look at that. Now it's fully intentional. Now it's a chair that he's sitting on purpose. And then we can have, let's see. I need to copy this here. Oh, but now we need to do it, we need to do an actual, like, good job, though, because if I don't, everyone will know. Okay, so if I get this, and then we have this on top of that, how does that look when we unminimize him? And then I kind of don't like I kind of like that better. Yeah, I think that's better. I'm gonna just call this Mr. Weston. Because, yeah, I was gonna say this is Weston Marriage, but yeah, we aren't gonna need anything else. What is this? Chair. And then chair arm. And then we need a very lavish wedding dress for Mrs. Weston. And we need this photo to kind of look a little beat up. You know, they got married at least 10 years ago. That's a long time ago. Who knows what happened in 10 years? And let's have... I was going to have, like, the most brilliant, beautiful skies you've ever seen. Behind them. And then we're going to need the bridesmaids and grooms and stuff like that, because we're still going to have, like, the arches. And we're still going to have, like, a green meadow. They're going to do their... They did their vows in a meadow or something like that. Who's officiating their wedding? Actually, let's do our perfect green right there. That's what the green looks like now. And they'll be on a platform. But I need to figure out where the platform is going to be. Actually, I still hold on to the idea that... Hang on. If we go back to here... If we establish that the horizon line is here, and then put the archway here, to establish that it's just barely below eye line where they're standing. And then we'd have, you know, other people back this way. Hmm. Let's also get Mrs. Weston in here. Should she have the same hairstyle that she had before? Or that she has today? You know, she wears her hair a little differently. She wears it, like, long or something like that. So it's like, it's clearly been a long time since she's been like this, but Mr. Weston is exactly the same. Oh, let's get Mr. or Mrs. Weston in here. Very simple design. I like that for the kids, I used a 128 photo for like for just one portrait. And for this entire wedding scene, oh wait, no, I did scale up to 256, didn't I? Okay, never mind. I was about to call myself an idiot for a thing that I already realized was a bad idea. So how does... Oh, I see. Mrs. Weston does have eyebrows. And also her eyes slightly tilt down like this. And I think she might have her hands to her mouth, very excitedly. No, what would she do? I don't even know how weddings work. But okay, let's at least draw her proportions so that way I can figure out... Like, I think her head is too big. Just scale it down a little bit, and then I'll refine that. Because, yeah, how does her body even fit into this scene? I think we just shorten up her body a little bit. Shorten up the torso. And so we'd have her... Her figure will also be exaggerated by the dress, so we don't need to worry about it too much. And I think, obviously, her dress will have the extremely long tail. And I think we need both of these two to be up here. Where do we need these two? I guess they'll be down here. I don't know anything. Yeah, we'd have the bridal veil. Actually, the bridal veil, I like the bridal veil also going all the way down and then all the way out. So we'll have that as well. And yeah, she'll have a bouquet of flowers as well. Oh, thinking about flowers reminds me there is a convenience store and florist and cafe near me that went out of business in like 6 months, and that was unfortunate because they had good food. I think it's because the rent was like $5 billion a month for that little corner shop. I mean, I think it was unironically $9,000 a month. Because there's like an extremely visible corner lot. But apparently, like, there's been like 3 businesses now that have gone out of business there, so they should probably lower the rent at some point. But I feel like that's a tricky topic for another day. The fact that they won't. Because market incentives make it more profitable to simply not rent out at all. Somehow. Rather than, like, just lower the value so that it's useful. Okay, that feels right. Okay, and then we need to figure out what the heck is happening around them. Because now we don't have the... We should still have something here. Like a little archway, a little platform that they're on. And the less sense Mr. Weston's perspective makes, I think the better. Actually, let's just have, like, this then. And then I do want a kind of church guy in here. Some sort of pastor. What if we have an ancient shaman? No, I think that'd be too confusing. Like, if we had, like, this guy officiating their wedding. Just some stock photo. No. Okay. For now, let's just have the arches. The golden arches. This is basically how weddings look. They're basically like a football field with all the white markings on the ground. Okay, so I'm saying they're right here. There's going to be some sort of stage. So that way I don't have to bother redrawing this, because otherwise I'd have to draw, like, the thing going down the slope, which, I mean, that would be funnier. Yeah, I gotta do it. It is funnier. Basically have a tiny have a little platform here, and then basically this dress will go down the platform. Let's make it blue. There we are. A little bit more blue. Yeah, good enough. Okay. That looks like a start. And then, yeah. As before. Or as stated. Oh, interesting. Thank you, Godot. Oh, I have to right-click. There we go. Does something here work? What is... Oh, I see. I locked the transparency for no reason. To confuse myself. It was a little trick. Okay. There we are. Let's have her veil be right kind of here. So these are the dress. This is the veil. Okay. Oh. And then we'll have something here, like a path of some sort. I'm thinking a slightly different shade of green. And then maybe beautiful trees in the background. That won't be beautiful, non-obtrusive trees that are slightly darker than both elements. So that way I don't have to draw as much, and it can be clearly implied that this is a beautiful nature scene. Oh, that's just wonderful. And then we can have, I don't know, some fucking trees there. Yeah, that's basically how it works. Okay. Move Mr. Weston a little bit. And Mrs. Weston, she'll be fine because I've already drawn a dress and I don't want to draw it again. I could move the whole thing, but I think this will be fine. And then we'll have the pastor, maybe. What if the pastor is Pastor Right, and he's just so tall that he goes off the screen? I'd be fine with that. But okay, what else am I... What is not... Oh, okay, I see. Why did I draw a circle there? It's been an hour and 46 minutes? I thought it was like 25 minutes. I mean, I guess I have done work. Not that much, but I have done some. Why is this one pixel? This side looks quite bad. But I'm doing the other side for no reason. Basically because it was easier to make look good. That's basically an archway. What if we had a beautiful lattice work? In fact, what if we vertically mirror it? And then we have, like, something like this to distract the viewer from the fact that the background is going to be really lousy. And then we have these two. Okay, that looks fine. This is not a, like, candid shot for a wedding, though. This is not a particularly good photograph of a wedding. Okay. Background. And remove the noise. I need to know what I'm looking at. Why can't I... Hang on, what? There we go. Okay. Took a few minutes there. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out what needs to change, what is good, what is not. I think this is an arm. And so we have something there, like that. And then let's just say basically that. There we go. That's how hands connect together. Shape okay. Okay. So we have the dress, and then we have the veil. We have the hair coming down. We have a tiara or something. I don't know what's on the bride's head, but it will be cool looking. All right. So we need a few things. Where's Mrs. Weston? Oh yeah, she's under column 1. Was she still dyeing her hair the same color? Let's close this one. Well, actually, let's delete this. And then we'll save that. I think if anything, her hair was even more yellow back here. Or back in this time. So we don't need... Oh, wait, no. I guess we don't need Mr. Weston. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to say as bright as a bee. Okay. Maybe she even had ever so slightly more color in her face back then. Do I need anything here? No. This will be fine. And do I want any fancy colors here? I don't think I do. But what I will have... Oh, wait, no. That's going to be that. But it's going to only be partially filled. There we go. And then right here, it's going to actually fill in fully white. Okay, let's see that in action. Okay, that seems okay. I think I'm going to do... reduce saturation, increase brightness. I'm not going to have it be too crazy here. All right, and then here. There we go. Let's say like red for the like bouquet itself. And then like white for the flowers. These are going to be more like, I don't know what they'd be, white roses or something. How did that? Oh, because it's limited opacity. Okay, there we are. I was wondering why this red was so bad, but I was like, I'm not going to complain because it's kind of the shade that I wanted. But okay. Okay, anything else that I kind of want to do here that I think would be necessary? I think... well, I kind of want to pan in. But that's not really an option, I don't think. Or at least it's not a good option. So what I'll do instead is I'll just add some shading. Because basically, yeah, this does not look like a shot a photographer would take at a wedding. And where's Mrs. Why is this? Huh? Oh, I see. No, I don't see. Is here the issue? There it was, okay. Okay. Shadows. I think we would have either black or white bouquets. I know, green around the edge here. We would not have red. That feels like vaguely approximating a wedding. Oh yeah, and then we should have the, like, faded photography aspects of it. Multiply that. A beautiful vignette. Of a well-worn photo. And then we can have, like, a smidge of, like, sun damage, maybe, even? Oh, right. Let's do... what if we just did normal? I kind of like having a little bit of that. Just, like... It's almost like Bloom. But like bad, but like on purpose. And I'm going to have ever so slight scratches here as well. Of just like, you know, just so you can tell the photo's been through some stuff. Or that this is, yeah. Oh yeah, and then we also need to have the, like, actual border here. It's gonna be like, this. Let's do like that. I know what to do. Okay, how would that look? Standard. Yeah, not what wedding photos look like at all. But I've drawn it and it sucks, and that's funny. Oh. And then we need the other photo, the last photo with the family. Is that a square one? Yeah, that's a square one. Okay, I'm thinking 256 by 256. Also, I'm thinking, could I have scaled this down? You know, maybe instead of, maybe we did 256 by, wait, no, we can't divide by 3. Can we even get all 4 of these guys in here? Oh yeah, I think actually this will be fine. Just do pixel art. So if we, yeah, we just have, I think May is actually kind of tiny. Because I'm imagining basically Apollo here, and then we have Mrs. Weston right about here. So yeah, May is itty bitty. And then Mr. Weston will just be hanging out here. Yeah, that feels good. We need Mr. Weston back. I think, so if their heads are about yay big, then he'll be about this big. And he can be there. Why is he in a scare chair? I didn't grab this layer. I grabbed this layer. Okay, double check the size here. I think it needs to be, yeah, about that big. Maybe a little bit bigger. Okay. And then we just have the rest of the family adjust around him. And you know, what if he's not even holding the... Well, I think it's funnier if he is holding the beer. Okay, so this is Weston 3 family. What if we drew them on top? I know what to do, actually. We're going to have Mrs. Weston's arms are going to be here. And she's going to have her hands like this. How would I do that properly? We'd have a bit more of a bend here for the palm. More like this, basically. And then for the other side, we'd also not have the elbows come out like that. We'd have them go upward and backward like this. Who's Mrs. Weston? What does she look like? What is her name again? Alright. So, oh yeah, her hair changes sides anyway, depending on like what angle we're looking at her from. So it doesn't even matter what's... Because that was the actual question that I was wondering. Okay. But I think that is about correct. Yeah, something like that. How did I not... Wait, what did I just... Oh, because her... Okay, I forgot. Her arms are on the layer above. Which, admittedly, now that I don't really need that. At least for Mrs. Weston. Because, yeah, we can just have her do exactly like... Or, like, sit exactly behind him. Except for, like, one part of her body, maybe. Yeah, because we can literally just do that, and now, boom, she's there. Okay. Oh, no. That is supposed to be the rest of her body, like, trailing off. Okay, so let's have this be... So what is her typical sweater? It's probably... It's the bluish turquoise color with the gray sweatpants. So I think here... She's wearing basically a similar color, just not exactly the same. Maybe just like a red-ish... Like a maroon sweater. Interesting. That's basically how shirts work, yeah. There we go. Okay. Why does Mr. Weston look kind of irritated? That's not his vibe at all. Yeah, what the heck is this line? Oh, is this Mrs. Weston's lines? Oh. I see. Yeah, I was like, how does he look perturbed? He is the least perturbed man in the world. This looks kind of like her head. I don't like it. We should have a different, I don't know, something or other. Does that feel good? Eh. Yeah, that feels fine. I should still eventually make Mrs. Weston look less shitty because she's the, like, first character I drew. And I can draw her way better now. But that's for another day. And speaking of making things look shittier, I gotta fuck up these lines to make them consistent with the other ones. I think the single pixel lines look better, but that's not the style of the game. Except for when it is, because I'm very inconsistent about it. But okay. I'm tired. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a nap, and it'll either be like 25 minutes or like 6 hours, and then I'm going to come back and stream some more. So a short stream for now, but who knows? It might be a longer stream later. But okay. Thank you for watching. I'll be back after a nap.